Her laughter is something I will never forget. The sound that once made my heart race when we were younger had changed. It was no longer the soft, melodic laugh I had cherished. As she stepped through the front door after her business trip, her laughter was different, sharp, reckless. "Hello, sweetie!" Sarah greeted me in a light, airy tone, as if she had returned from anywhere but a professional conference. Her laughter echoed through the room as she kicked off her heels and carelessly tossed her purse onto the chair by the door. Then she saw it, the framed picture. The laughter stopped instantly, as if someone had pressed mute. Her smile faltered, and the color drained from her face. She stood frozen, staring at the photograph of us on our wedding day, her in that stunning lace gown, me in my crisp navy suit. Back then we radiated joy, believing we had won life's greatest prize. But now there was something new. A detail I had added. Bold red letters scrawled across the glass are "I know." Her eyes widened in dread as she turned to face me. "What is this?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I leaned against the kitchen counter, arms folded. "Why don't you tell me?" She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I could see her mind racing, calculating how much I had uncovered, how I had found out, and most importantly, what I planned to do next. "Jack, I don't know what you're talking about," she stammered, her confidence unraveling. A bitter laugh escaped me, so unfamiliar it didn't even sound like my own. "Please, don't insult my intelligence," I said, shaking my head. For months of lies, business trips, late nights at the office, an unexpected passion for the gym. I picked up my phone, swiped through a collection of damning images, and held it up for her to see. Each picture painted the truth she had desperately tried to hide. Sarah and her business partner, Mark, holding hands at a seaside resort, kissing under a cabana, laughing over drinks at a bar. Her face crumpled. "Jack, I can explain." Fury erupted within me. "Oh, really?" I snapped. "Maybe you'd like to explain how you've been sneaking around with Mark while I was working overtime to afford your yoga retreats and spa days?" My voice rose with every word until I was nearly shouting. "You lied to me, Sarah, over and over again. Are you sorry you did it, or just sorry you got caught?" She stepped toward me, hands raised, as if an embrace could somehow mend what was irreparably broken. "Please, Jack, let me explain. It's not what it looks like." I held up a hand, stopping her in her tracks. "Don't. Just don't." I exhaled sharply. For 2 months, I gathered proof. "Do you know why?" Her lips trembled. She didn't answer. "Because I needed to be sure. I needed to know I wasn't imagining things, that I wasn't losing my mind. Now that I know the truth, I've made some decisions." Tears welled in her eyes, but I felt nothing. No pity, no sadness, just cold resolve. "I've already filed for divorce," I said evenly. "My lawyer has the papers. I suggest you review the prenuptial agreement before trying to fight it. You'll receive them tomorrow." Her expression collapsed even further. The prenup was ironclad, designed to protect my family's business in the event of betrayal. She would leave with only what she had brought into the marriage, which, truthfully, wasn't much. "You don't have to do this, Jack," she whispered, barely audible. I ignored her plea. "Second," I continued, "I've already informed Mark's wife." She flinched as if I had physically struck her. Her mouth opened and closed, but no words came. I smirked bitterly. "Oh, don't worry." She was incredibly understanding. She even shared some of her own pictures with me. "Did you really think you were the only one sneaking around?" Sarah broke into sobs, but I wasn't finished. I pulled a folder from the drawer and dropped it onto the table. "This contains everything. Texts, photos, receipts. If you try to fight this divorce, I'll send it straight to your company's HR department. Let's see how well they handle 2 of their top executives conducting an affair on company time and budget." She buried her face in her hands, her shoulders shaking. "I made a mistake, Jack. Please. I love you." A hollow chuckle escaped me. "Love?" I scoffed. "Is that what you call this? You don't love me, Sarah. You love the stability, the security, the comfortable life I provided. But respect, you had none. And for what? A cheap thrill." She wept, but I felt nothing. Only a strange sense of relief, as if a weight I hadn't even realized I was carrying had been lifted. No anger, no sadness, Just clarity. I grabbed my keys. I'll be staying at a hotel for a few days. The movers will be here by the end of the week to pack your things. You need to leave. She looked up at me, her tear-streaked face twisted in despair. Please, Jack. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. I shook my head. Some things can't be fixed, Sarah. I reached the door, pausing with my hand on the handle. Oh, and I cancel the credit card you used to buy that new purse during your business trip. Good luck explaining that one. Without another word, I walked out, her sobs echoing behind me. As I drove away, a flood of emotions swirled within me. Anger, betrayal, pain. But underneath it all, there was something new. Liberation. For 4 years, I had built a life with someone who never truly valued me. Now, I had the chance to start fresh. To find someone who would. The next morning, a text arrived from Mark's wife. Thank you for telling me. I'm leaving him too. We deserve better. She was right. We did. I stared out the hotel window as the sun rose over the city, realizing that the end of my marriage wasn't the end of my life. It was the beginning of something new. Something better. For the first time in months, I felt hopeful.